End of the year, at the end of December, everybody loves to talk about, oh, what's your one word for the year? And I can't stand that shit. I cannot stand it because it's so bandwagony. It's like, oh, everybody else is doing it, so I must do it. And I just hate it. I absolutely hate it. It doesn't mean that I don't have themes for the year or a focus for the year. But first of all, I don't work on a calendar year. I work on a 90-day year. Okay. So I try to do as much as I can and cram it into 90 days. You will get a lot more accomplished. You will meet a lot more goals if you do that. Right. And that's why, this whole, oh, focus on one thing for 1 year. No, focus on one thing for 1 year if it's 90 days. And I mean, focus on it. That is how I have earned trips. That is how I have earned awards for sales, by focusing and having a campaign for 90 days. Okay. So that is where it's all about having your quarterly goals. Okay. So there are two different schools of thought on this. There's the 12-week year. You can buy that book. You can buy the 90-day year as well. You can even go to the 90-day year website. They have a podcast, right? But this is what millionaires do. This is what really extremely wealthy people do. And if you don't believe me, why do companies have quarterly calls? Right? If you've ever worked for a publicly traded company, that third month of the quarter can really be interesting, right? If you know anybody, or if you've ever worked in finance, when that fiscal year comes to an end, when that quarter comes to an end, there are certain activities and things that they have to do. Why? Because that's how millionaires move, right? And I'm not saying by being on the 90-day year you're going to become a millionaire. I'm just saying, right? If you look at 75 hard, it's not a 90-day year, but it's pretty close to it. It's like 15 days short of 90. Think about that, right? So the idea is, with dedication and focus, in 90 days, you can make drastic improvement in your life. And I know, because I have done it. And one of the things I have focused on for 90 days is I will create and sell a digital product in that 90 days. And then at the end of that 90 days, I might switch and start focusing on something else. Or I may just move differently altogether. Or a lot of times what I do is I just continue to focus on that same product, right? So the 90-day year. So what is your goal for the 30 days? So if it's 30,000, so if you want to make $10,000 a month, okay, you write down, first of all, you write down the time period, okay? So this would be July 1 through September 30th, okay? July 1 through September 30th, okay? And if you want to make $30,000 for that 90-day period, you take $30,000 and you divide it by either 3 for 3 months, or you divide it by 90, or you divide it by, if you're doing the 12-week year, you divide it by 12. To make it simple, I just divided it by 3, and that's $10,000 per month, okay? So what does that come to per day? So I actually took it, divided it by 90, and it came up to $334 a day. And this is where you have to do a little bit more math. You have to really kind of think where you are and what you want to do, okay? So I always tell you, the number one reason businesses fail, and according to the Small Business Administration, most businesses fail, and this is your like traditional brick and mortar business, they fail within the first 2 years. Why? Lack of cash flow. Okay. When you understand what bankruptcy means, when you really understand financial terms and formulas, you understand that being up, it's just like being upside down in a car. Most people understand what that means. It means when you bought the car, you had really bad credit, so you had to pay a really sick interest rate. And if something happens to the car, you might owe more on the car than it's worth. So the car might get totaled out and you walk away with nothing. Luckily, you had enough insurance to pay it off if you're lucky. And that's more so in today's world. Like 20, 30 years ago, sometimes when people still had to pay for cars that had gotten totaled. Okay. And then they might even end up having to file bankruptcy. And what bankruptcy literally means is you have more expenses going out than income really revenue coming in, because revenue minus expense is your income, right? So you have more expense going out than you have income coming in. Okay, revenue. I got to stop saying income, because technically revenue minus expense is your income, right? I'm giving y'all some the business admin 101 here, okay? So if a business fails, what shutters them is that they had more bills than they had customers in sales, basically, is what that means in regular everyday terms. If a business fails, it is because they did not generate enough sales. They did not have enough customers. Okay. Why is that important? Because up here, if you need to make $334 a day in order to hit your quarterly goal of $30,000, you need to know how many customers you need in a given day. Am I making sense yet? Is this making sense to y'all? Okay. So if you need to make $334 in a day and you have a product like DBA that is priced at $111, that means you need 3 customers a day. So now you got to look at how many people do I need to get in front of and how many people do I need to talk to in order to get 3 sales a day. And here is where most people mess up. They write a list of 5 to 6, 7, sometimes 10 friends and family that they just know are going to buy from them or need what they have. And then they keep hounding those same 6 to 10 people over and over again. And when those same 6 to 10 people start to disappear, ignore them, or flat out tell them no, they get upset. And they come online and talk about and post, those stats, a friend will become a customer quicker than a friend or family will. And I know, because I did it back in 2013. I did. Okay. Until I got myself together. Okay. And so even in 2013, when I came online marketing beauty and health and wellness products, and I actually was having a lot of success offline and marketing that success online, when you run out of your warm market, you've got to go to the cold market. But you don't just go to the cold market and pitch them. Some people do. I'm not gonna say which wound, but I've got wounds that I really still don't deal all that well with rejection. I've gotten better, and I'm better with detachment. But I figured that I know marketing, and I know marketing really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Facebook and I'm going to start running ads, and Facebook ads was eating my money up. They were eating my money up, because yes, I knew marketing and I knew ads, but what I didn't know was the Facebook targeting. And since then, not only have I learned it, people pay me a pretty penny to learn it from me. Okay. But the whole point is I understood that social media and that platform in particular had 1 billion people use that. And I think it's like over 3 billion now. I know it's over 1 billion on IG. I think TikTok is at like 1 billion or something like that. But there were all these people. And so I figured, why, again, because that rejection wound, I don't want to be rejected. So I'm going to let the algorithm absorb the rejection for me, is what I literally said. And I used to go live and talk about this. Let the algorithm absorb the rejection for you. So I knew that if I created the content and make it so that the content appealed to who it is that was my ideal client, I would then be able to convert so many of them to customers. Okay. And so I started doing that. And then I started looking for content to feed me and help me get better at doing that. Because even though I had 20 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, baby, FB didn't exist even when I got my master's degree. It didn't exist. If it did, I didn't know about it. I never had even seen Google until the first night of my master's degree. We talking early 2000s here, right? So learning, things like the automations and sales funnels and that, I was a quick study on them, but I had to learn that stuff. So I started listening to every podcast and sitting on every webinar that was free and even paid to be on webinars. And I, reading blogs and printing out everybody's PDFs and really learning this. And I mastered it. And that's how in 2015, I was able to create my first course. Okay. And I told y'all a little while ago, I don't create courses like other people. I create a minimal viable product like Matt CEO. I bought BPU last week. I looked at BPU and I was like, me and Matt cut from the same cloth. Because you put out a minimal viable product. You don't go and invest in all this stuff that people be investing in and don't even know if you have a viable product. You don't do that, right? So I showed earlier, I start with a Google Doc and I outline what I'm going to teach. I might even go and create content and I might start talking to people and asking very specific questions so I know what to create, but I outline it in a Google Doc. Okay. And then there are times when I take that outline and I take my copywriting skills and I open another Google Doc and I create another Google Doc that is my website, my sales page. And I go to my Stripe account and I create a payment link. And here, I'll show you. Don't believe me, I'll show you. Let me see where it's at though. I will show you because I showed on the last live. Let me show you. We don't want to go to Zoom. We do not want to open Zoom. We don't want to open Zoom. Okay. So what a lot of people don't realize, like this Google Doc, and I think I might still have access to this other one that I will show you because I've seen other people do this. I mean, people who sell a lot of digital products, who make millions, who make tens of thousands of dollars a month. I've seen them do this. And I'm like, if they got all that money and they using a Google Doc to sell their product, why wouldn't I do it, right? Where I have been paying, $40, $50 a month for different lead page software over the years, right? But I bought it from people who had an affiliate link. And that's why they were telling me that I had to have that, right? So a lot of people don't realize that you can go under File on Google Docs, and then you can hit Publish to the web, okay? Now, a lot of people don't do this part. I do this part because this is how you protect your document, okay? So you click Publish to the web so they can't make any changes to it, right? So I'm going to copy this link from Publish to the web, and I'm going to paste that in the browser, and you will see it looks very similar to just like a web page, right? And it tells you it's published using Google Docs, okay? And then, I use different colors and nice size fonts and that, and you scroll down, and there I'm basically selling the product right here. I could also even record a video and I could embed the video, but because the way I sold this one in particular, I went to people that I already knew and sold it in Messenger. I never even promoted this publicly, okay? So, you can DM me and I'll send you the link to this and you can read it and see, because it's really good stuff. I know how to write a sales letter. Y'all don't have to do that with Stan Store, because you're using your content to sell it, okay? But we scroll down here, I list out all the bonuses, okay? And it's currently in the vault, and there is this register button, okay? I don't know why that's not, but I'm gonna copy the link address I can't change it on here anyway because it's published. Okay, so then we click under here. So I got a link here. It says click here to register if button does not work. So here, you can see that button. That register, that is just an image that I downloaded from Google. And matter of fact, I might not have even downloaded it from Google because I've been buying PLR and MRR for years. So I think I actually have the button. I was able to get the button from one of my old PLR or MRR courses. I'm like 99.99999% sure that I didn't even get that from Google. I got that from one of my old PLR or MRR packs because it's not new. It's not new. And people think that they're revealing a big secret, telling you that it's not new. I've been telling y'all that it's not new, right? It's modernized. What you're experiencing now is not only modernized, it's feminized, okay? So when you click that, it's going to take you to a redirect notice. And now I got to switch sharing so you can see the page that it opened up to. And this is what I mean. Digital marketing is a highly paid skill set. When you learn digital marketing, you will never be broke again another day in your life, because you will have the skills that will teach you that how you will have the skills to be able to literally generate cash. You can literally create money from nothing. The only other way to do that is to print currency, which I do not recommend, like 0 stars, do not recommend, because you might end up living in a certain building with barbed wire and really high fences and wearing orange, and they tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and it looks a little too different, a little too close to a situation that my people, have a historical tie to, that I'm just not interested in ever experiencing for myself. Okay. So I do not recommend that you print your own money. I recommend that you learn digital marketing skills instead. Just going to say that. Okay. It's the next best thing. Okay. So it takes you to this payment link that I created in my Stripe account, and look at the price of that, $4.97. Okay. Notice I have not created a course yet, but I'm collecting my monies. I'm collecting my monies. Okay. So I have not created a course yet. Okay. So the next thing I do is I go over to Facebook. What did I just do? Oh, okay. So I go to Facebook and I create a group. Okay. In the about, I tell people what it's about. Actually, I didn't even show y'all the outline that I created in Google Doc that helped to create that sales page. And now it's so easy to create that sales page because you can use ChatGPT. Now, I don't suggest you just take it straight out of ChatGPT. I suggest you either get into DBA and learn, the copywriting skills, or I have a copywriting course, the Next Gen Content Masterclass, that teaches you how to teach ChatGPT to write and sound like you. Okay. So it's all here, and I tell you what I'm promising you. And it, also gives you rules, right? Like, you can't steal my content, because I'm not lying. Not only will I go after you about my content, I will physically fight you about my content. I do not play. This, if you were to buy it, you could buy it right now. You could DM me. I could send you the link and you can buy it. But it does not come with master resale rights. You do not get to sell the content that is in here. Okay. So if you go under guides, you will see that every week for 6 weeks, I went live in this group. You might even look at some of this and recognize some of those videos, because I've cut out snippets of them and I use them for content. That's something I learned from my multi-million-dollar mentor of, don't just lock your stuff in the vault. Don't just lock it behind a paid gate. Take out snippets of it and use it to attract people and actually sell the thing to them. Okay. So it was only supposed to be like 4 weeks, and it wound up being a 6-week course, because I'm daughter of Greg. We call him Griswold. Overpromise, underpromise, and overdeliver. Okay. Plus there were bonuses. You're about to start doing that. I'm telling you, this is the lick, right? I only show this to make people understand when I say there is no better time than now to be alive. Okay, my laptop battery about to die, and this outlet is not working for whatever reason. Let's see, does this one work? Is it the outlet, or do I? Y'all, I might have to move locations because the outlets aren't working. I wonder, is there a switch? Do I need to hit a switch? I don't know, but that outlet's not working. Okay, but anyway, so I'll be quick. We still got some juice. Okay. So when I say there is no better time to be alive than now, I am not making that shit up. There is no better time than right now to be alive. You can use free apps like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, social media apps, ChatGPT, Perplexity, AI, Gemini from Google, and you can create and sell products based on what you already know and who you already are, right? I tell the story of how my parents years ago in the late 1900s bought my kids a PS3. And I went and bought some additional games to go with that PS3, right? And one of them was a game that they probably shouldn't play. And other people told me that. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But I didn't take that game back because I would stay up late playing it. But I wasn't really good at it. So I had to learn it. So I went to Google because by this time I had discovered Google. And I was looking for how to play this game. And even on YouTube, I didn't even know YouTube back then. But I was looking. I went to Google, and what I was able to find was a CD. I was able to buy a CD for $10 plus shipping. And I got that CD and I put it into my Toshiba laptop because I hadn't even gone to Apple yet. This is how long ago this was. And I put it in there, and it was a cheat code. It told me how to play. It told me what I was, what mission I was on, what I needed to do to stop just being on Groundhog Day, basically. So, that's an example of somebody monetizing something that they knew that other people might not think was of value, but there was somebody in the world who found value in that. And that somebody happened to be me, but I couldn't have been the only other person because they had set up a whole system, where you could go online and you could safely pay, because I didn't have any bank fraud or anything. I could safely pay. It probably was a little sketch, but I didn't know. So I bought it and I got the CD, right? So the whole point is, if you know Roblox better than anybody else, if your kid knows Roblox better than anybody else, if they know GTA better than anybody else, whatever the cheat code to, is what you should be monetizing and selling, right? Now, I admit, when I first heard about DBA, I was skeptical because I was like, they act like making a course is so hard. It is for most people because they're not Tamira. If you don't have the public speaking experience like I do, like, I'm not kidding. You can Google me. You will see who I am. Okay. You can go on iTunes and you can search for me. TAM as in Mary, IRA, Hamilton Life Money. And I will come up. You don't even have to do that because I share snippets of all my presentations when I do public speaking, right? When I teach, I have been teaching and leading sales and marketing for over 30 years. Okay. So not everybody has that experience. So creating courses is not that easy for everyone. And that is why I love done for you products like DBA. Okay. So DBA is going to give you the foundations of how to not just build a course, but actually build a business, Okay. So we're in DBA right now. We're in the community, and let's look at the classroom. Okay. So it is organized into modules. There are 2 volumes. You still have time today to join. You automatically get access to volume 1. You just have to send in your receipt and you'll get access to it. You got to create your school account, send in your receipt, and then you'll be approved. Okay. And then you will be able to go to the classroom and you will see these same modules. Coming later today is volume 2. If you join now while I am live, that is why I have been stretching this live out, you will get access to volume 2 for free. If you wait until later today when volume 2 is released, it's going to cost you $333 instead of $111. So my math tells me I would join now before it went to $333. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, Navi girl. Hey, girl. Hey, right? You don't even have to pay the full $111 today. You can join for $27 with Klarna or Afterpay. When I tell you there is no better time to be alive than now, I am telling you there is no better time to be alive than now. Like, this is real talk. I just showed you how using what was in my head, putting it in a Google Doc and creating a payment link, and I've been doing this since 2015, you can be up by the end of the day. And I don't care who you are. I have a fully disabled brother, and I can run this play with him because there are TV shows, there are facts and things that he knows better than anybody else, and he could create a digital product and be up by the end of the day, especially with a sister who is an HR master and a sister who is a marketing master, right? Any member of my family, they could be up by the end of the day if they tapped into my brain and I worked behind the scenes and helped them create a digital product. Right? So everybody can't tap into my brain. How you tap into my brain is through my courses. I still have my own courses that I've created and I still sell. But I have a mission of helping 100 families make their first $1,000 online. You in my family, girl. You in my family. You in my DBA family, boo. I be dropping gems in DBA. I be dropping gems in the community, right? I treat DBA like I treat my family. I give them the tips. I give them the juice. Okay. I give them the cheat code, right? So you want to be in DBA. Okay. I give back to the DBA community because the DBA community gives to me. And that is what I love about the DBA community. Okay. I've been in digital marketing. I've been in marketing for over 32 years. I've been in digital marketing for 10 years now, 11 years now. Okay. And what I can tell you is I have never experienced anything like DBA, right? Number one, it's woman-led. It was created by a woman. Number two, it was created by a woman of color, right? I absolutely love that, okay? I have 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. I turned 18 one Tuesday, had a baby the next. That baby, who is now 32 and gave me the two most beautiful grandchildren in the world, which is part of why I do this, so that I can be with them when I want to be with them. She saw me graduate high school. She doesn't remember because she was a baby, but she should remember when I graduated my undergrad. She was there when I got my master's degree, okay? And I still learn from DBA, okay? I say that not to impress you, but to impress upon you that marketing is like a muscle. You have to develop it. You have to develop it. It is continuous learning. There are people from my age bracket who are struggling with marketing because they refuse to modernize and even feminize, in some cases, their marketing skill set. Not me. Do you know why? Because I come from a family that is rich in personal development. My grandparents never went to college. They both had high school educations, but I used to check out books from their library. Okay. I learned personal development at home. I learned continuous education at home. So it's nothing to me. I didn't get a graduate degree. I didn't get an undergraduate degree and think that was all I was ever going to have to learn, because my family prepared me with the mindset to always have my mind open and be willing to learn. So those people who are not willing to learn, who are saying AI is going to take my job, AI is going to take your job, because you're basically handing your job over to AI by not learning new skills. That's on you if AI takes your job. You know who's going to take your job? 16-year-old, I think her name is pronounced Josiah. 16 years old. She's made $2,000 selling DBA. That's who's going to take your job. My generation, by the time we got in our 30s and our 40s, really our 40s, we knew we had X's on our backs because we were some of the most highly paid people in an organization. So we knew we had X's on our backs so that they could replace us with people that they could pay less money to. Okay. Now what you have to worry about is it's not about them paying someone less money than they would pay you. It's about them paying someone who has skill set that you refuse to get. Okay. In 2018, there was a study. 60% of jobs in 2018 did not exist in 1940. 60% of the jobs in 2018 did not exist in 1940. Why is that? Because of technological advancements, because of the internet, because of the World Wide Web, because of Microsoft. Okay? Every time new technology is created, it creates new jobs. Factory jobs did not exist hundreds of years ago. The Industrial Revolution, which was steel, which was the railroads. That is how the Industrial Revolution came about, and that's how factory jobs were even created. They didn't have factory jobs way back in the day. And we know who was working them tobacco fields in that. Right? In fact, one of my online mentors, Dan Cole, says that the only person who is expected to do one job and only do that one job ever in their life is the enslaved person. So by refusing to learn new skill sets, and this is my logical deduction based upon what my mentor said to me, my logical deduction, my logical reasoning is telling me that by refusing to learn new skill sets, by refusing to get with the times and modernize your skill set, you are enslaving yourself. I don't know about you, but I'll be buried in my grave before I'll be a slave. Okay, so we have to learn new skill set. We have to learn AI. And I'm going to tell you, yes, I'm not going to lie to you. AI is taking people's jobs. It absolutely is taking people's jobs, as it should, because we have to move forward. We have to move forward and we have to move upward. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's skill is not today's skill, right? So if you don't want to up your skills, then yeah, you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it, right? But while AI is taking people's jobs, it's also creating new jobs. There is a skill gap. Employers are concerned because not only are people not having enough babies for the low wage jobs, for the skilled jobs, there's not enough people with the skills to fill the skilled jobs. So I don't care who you are, whether you have a marketing degree like I do or not, if you own a daycare, if you own a restaurant, if you are an employee, you need to learn marketing. Why? Because everything is marketing. I know y'all talk about, I don't like to sell. I'm not a salesperson. And you know what I tell you when you say that to me? You're trying to sell me right now that you don't like to sell and you don't know how to sell. You're selling right now. You're trying to convince me that you don't know how to sell. And if I were a fool, you'd be selling me. But see, I'm old school sales, baby. I learned to sell like a man. Okay. So I come from the school of thought. In every transaction, a sale is made. Either you're going to sell me or I'm going to sell you. And you're not going to sell me on that BS that you don't know how to sell because you are right here in front of my face. You're not going to play in my face like that. You're sitting here trying to tell me that you don't know how to sell while you're actually selling me if I were to buy it, but I'm not buying it. Okay. So everybody needs digital marketing. The businesses, the local businesses since 2020 that have been winning, it's because they are marketing. They are using social media. They are using content. They are building email lists. They are marketing to their email list. They are selling digital products. They have automation in place. How does that impact you as an employee? Let me know in the comments with a 1 if you have applied for a work at home job. Because everybody wants those. Did nobody want to go back to the office? And I don't blame y'all. Okay. Nobody wants to work in the office. Everybody wants to work from home. When you apply for those jobs, did you know that you are often competing with 11,000, 12,000, 10,000 other people? That's how many, that's how they, that's how many applicants that they get. Okay. That's how many applicants that they get. 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 applicants per job. So do you think you need to be able to stand out? Did you know that there are knockout questions? There are knockout questions in the application process. I was first introduced to knockout questions when I sold insurance back in the early 2000s, right? The company that I was contracted to sell insurance for, they were a very conservative and old company. So if you engaged in certain behaviors, and these questions were like within the first 10 questions on the application. If you answered yes to any of these questions, there was no need to even go further with the application as an insurance agent because they were automatically declined. That's what a knockout question is, right? So if you ever had a DUI, that was a knockout question. They would not insure you. It was an insurability issue. Okay. And you can try to fight it all you want to, but nope, they were not able to get that life insurance. Okay. And so when you go to apply for a job and you fill out that application online, there are knockout questions. You just don't know which ones they are. And that is why you can barely hit submit and you've already got a rejection letter in your email because you didn't pass a knockout question. And this is why you need to know how to write your resume, what things to say and not say. I'm not saying lie on the job application. I would never tell you that. But you need to know what keywords to have in your resume and in your cover letter to get past their algorithm and actually get an interview. This is why you need to learn marketing. This is why you need to learn artificial intelligence. Because you know me, I'm going to break it down to the very last compound. I'm going to tell you the truth. The cold, unadulterated truth, right? To say you don't want to learn marketing, to say you don't want to learn AI is basically saying you want to live off grid. And even off grid people are selling products online. So don't believe that hype either. They're some of the biggest sellers of digital products. They selling seeds online. You know, I dabble in that lifestyle. So I see the ads on TikTok. Oh, buy these heirloom seeds, and they break it down. It's a very well-written script, right? So DBA is your passport. It is your key to not only learning digital marketing skills, but actually building a bona fide business, okay? Because inside of DBA, we actually show you how to do this. Okay. So these are the modules. When I saw this, y'all know red is my favorite color. It is in my brand. Okay. So it begins with start here. You want to go there, right? This is not for you if you're not going to read instructions, if you're not going to actually go through the modules. Okay. You want to click start here because when you start here, it's going to give you the rules of DBA and the legal rules. Because if you break them, you will be banned. For example, you cannot sell DBA for less than $111. Okay. So you want to start there. Then we teach you how to set up your online store. You do not have to use one of these three, but these are the three that they train you on. Stand store, which is what highly is recommended if you are an absolute beginner. Snip feed or beacons, right? A lot of people look at beacons and they want beacons because they look at the price of Stand Store, not understanding, which I'm going to explain in a little bit, how you should really work Stand Store, right? They look at, oh, beacons is free, but beacons is taxing you over and beyond what Stripe is already taking out of your money as your payment processor, okay? And so instead of paying Stand Store per transaction, you just pay them monthly, okay? So it teaches you how to set up your online store, okay? And there is tech support, so you can actually pay tech support and they will set up your store for you. There is the millionaire mindset. Being an entrepreneur ain't for the weak. You got to put on your armor and yield your sword and belt every day. You got to pick up your cross every day, right? Sometimes your own worst enemy is not your hater, it's the hater inside your head, okay? So there's a prayer call Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Build a bomb brand. I'm going to go through these quickly because my battery is rapidly dying. Okay. Build a bomb brand. Matter of fact, I might be able to, I'm going to unplug that and then maybe that will save me some juice. Okay. Build a bomb brand. Let me show you this module. This module, baby. And the girl who created it, her last name is Hamilton too. So you already know if a Hamilton put this together, baby, a Hamilton in marketing, girl, please, you can't tell her nothing, right? I could sell this for $2,000. I'm going to say the retail value of it is between $697 and $997, but I already know that I could sell that for $2,000. Okay. She forgot I'm live. So focus on your internal brand. Why branding is important, right? And not only all this video training, but there's also resources, PDFs, checklists, workbooks, right? There's so many different things here. I don't know why I clicked up there, but anyway, okay. So that module alone is worth $997. But you get it for only $111. You can get it for $27 with Klarna or Afterpay. By the way, I would recommend, if you've ever bought anything from me and you're thinking about it, don't think about it. Just go to the link on the screen or in my bio and get it. Okay. If you have to go to the link in my bio, it is the third button on that link. Okay. You know you can trust your girl on this because you get volume 1 and volume 2 for only $111. $27 with the Forepay, because I got to rush through this, okay, because my battery is dying. Okay, and in the outlet that I know does work, we're gonna be closer to her laughing and kikiing. Okay, so the Build a Bomb brand, it's worth it just for that alone. It's worth it for that, just that. That is an incredible model. I saw that, and I mean, I already knew I'd made the right decision in joining GBA, but when I saw that, because here's the thing, this is master resale rights. That means you get to sell this as is. You get to sell access to this, and you keep 100% of the profit. I don't get one penny when you sell it. Okay. So you can market it as just Build a Bomb brand, and then they get surprised and they get all of this. Right? But it doesn't stop there. It's also digital marketing training, content planning, how to repurpose your content strategy, right? And when I say you are learning from the best, y'all know I don't mix well with other people. I don't play well with other marketers a lot of the time because they liars and they, be nice, Tamira. I'm very picky. Let's just say that I am extremely picky. So when I put my stamp of approval behind somebody, they're all that and a bag of chips. And Jaquela and Brooklyn are all that and a bag of chips. Okay. So this is, they give you hooks. They give you call to actions, right? SEO. Like if you can't be found in 2024, you're dead in the water. Right. And Matt talks about that in BPU as well. Okay. So there's content inspiration so you can learn from the best. But here, the content vault. The content vault itself is worth $111 at minimum. Okay. So there's over 43,000 done for you pieces of content, right? Over 43,000, including captions for you to create content to help you sell not only DBA, but anything that you want to sell. Okay. So there's the content vault. This is the done for you vault. This is PLR, private label rights. If you've ever dealt with PLR or MRR before, I want you to throw out whatever you think you know, because this is the 2024 version of PLR and MRR. If you know PLR and MRR in the past, it had a very masculine feel and presence to it. No, baby, we're in 2024. Women are in the driver's seat. And I don't say that to argue masculine or feminine. I'm telling you that the majority of people who are monetizing and making online these days are women, because you throw on some makeup, you look cute, you got some girls. And you don't have to go that route. I'm just saying we do have assets. Okay. So this is the vault of products that you can customize to your brand that you've developed after going through the Build a Bomb brand module. And you can sell and get 100% of the product. You have the licensing. It's like if this notebook was a mini notebook, you don't get to just throw Minnie Mouse on a notebook and sell it, not without going to court and possibly even not only getting big fines, but going to jail, because Disney owns that, right? It's a capitalistic society, and I'm not really hating on that, okay? So that is a licensing agreement. Disney has given them express written permission and rules in how they can use the Disney name and logo. Fun fact, did you know that I worked with Disney in my first job out of college? I was the one who was going back and forth with them about the brochure and their rules and how you could use their logo and even write out and express Walt Disney World Resort. It had to say Walt Disney World Resort. You couldn't just say WDW Resort, and certain things had to be capitalized in bold. So I went ahead and I just created a manual for all the brands to use because I was getting tired of all the back and forth. Okay. So licensing agreement. And I used to read Disney contracts, and let me tell you, them contracts ain't no joke. So that's licensing. If this had mini on there and it's for sale, somebody paid Disney not only be able to use it, but they also give them a kickback on the percentage of sales. With private label rights, you don't have to do that. You do need to read the rules. Each one is going to tell you what their rules are, and you can't assume that they're all the same. You do need to read the rules, okay? So there is a vault of 150 different done-for-you products. Now, there are people who customize and they resell them. Baby, I'm just selling the vault. I'm going to just sell the vault because I'm not really into me personally. You do what you need to do for you, your business, and your family. I'm not really interested in selling anything under $111 because, like I said, Google me. Okay, so enough of that. Okay, CapCut. Remember what I said? I got 32 years of sales, marketing, leadership experience, double master's degree and bachelor's degree in marketing, finance, and Spanish. Yeah, and I still learned from DBA. Okay, CapCut video editing, because that wasn't taught in the master's classes. I didn't learn that. You know what else I didn't learn? We're going to skip through some things here. I didn't learn business formation in either of those programs, master's or bachelor's. I did learn budgeting because I did take some accounting classes. Business credit, learned a little bit about that, not a whole lot. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? These are the essentials. Okay. I'm getting my warning. Okay. These are the essentials to building a business. Okay. The whole idea between volume 1 and volume 2 is that you learn how to generate the cash flow. And then volume 2, which I'm going to have to come back and go live about, is going to teach you how to take that money and make that money work for you. It's going to give you some ideas to specialize in, like Airbnb, like beauty, like become a travel agent, like become a virtual assistant, right? It's going to teach you some more platforms that you may not be on but want to learn, like Pinterest. But I got a Pinterest course for you too. LinkedIn, right? So I'm going to go because my battery light is red and I think my stomach is on red too. So I got to go eat. So I'll come back and go live a little later, but don't forget, grab DBA before that price goes up. Go to the link in my bio, go to the link on screen and grab DBA before the price goes up. All right. If you have any questions, especially over here, just DM me, but y'all can DM me too. Just DM me. Or find me on FB or hit me up at Tamira at TamiraHamilton.com and I will get your questions answered. I'm not a fake FOMO person. Today is the day. If you want volume 1 and get volume 2 at the same price without paying any additional for volume 2, now is the time to act. I'm not in the business of convincing people. I've been saying that for years. Because if I got to convince you to join, I got to convince you to not try to refund. And by the way, you check a box that there are no refunds. Okay? I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.